Next, we're going to discuss purchases and payments. So purchases are going to be 50% of the previous month, or excuse me, the future month, because we have to get the inventory ready to go. So that will be equal to, beginning in April, it'll be the May number multiplied by this 50% anchored, and then we will drag that across appropriately. So you can see that we have October missing. So I'm going to go back and add October here, 92,000. So that number will populate. So when we're doing the cash budget, you're going to need at least 2 months prior and then 1 month beyond what you're trying to budget for. In most circumstances, it will depend on your company. Payments next will be payments will made first month and second month. We're going to make 60% of the payments in the first month and 40% in the second month. So beginning in June, this will be equal to that 60% anchored multiplied by, in this case, it's the purchases from May. So you should get 116,100. Drag that across. And then for the second month, that was 2 months out. So that was in April purchases, paying for those completed now. That'll be multiplied by the 40% anchored. So C11 times B14 anchored, which is 73,000. Well, drag that across. And now add these together with auto sum. And then you can do appropriate formatting as you wish. So I'll do format painter here. And if I want to do another line, I can do that as well. As well as doing some indentions. Whoops. Indenting a couple times. Something else that you may want to do is a couple different things. So one is something called tracing precedents. So if I go to the formulas tab and trace precedents, so let's suppose I do that for this particular sum here. So if I trace precedents, you can say that it's summing these things. And then if I did trace precedents for, let's say that second month number, you can see what that's coming from. The first month number, this number, okay. And then if I continue down for the bottom, the payments we just did, you can see where those were coming from. So this kind of gets and helps you make sure that you pull the data appropriately. And you can do that for all cells, etc. But generally, if you do it for that first series and then dragging that across, you're good to go. But that's just a tool you can use in Excel. Another thing that you can do at this particular stage is if we can outline the data. So if we just want to pull the collections together, and then this is total payments. So let me add that back in and bold that. So if I want to group the collections together or sales, etc., I can. So we could do, if I went to data, I can do outline. You could do group and do an auto outline and see what it comes up with. So you can see that it has appropriately put in total collections and total payments for us, but it hasn't really done that with purchases, etc. So I can undo that grouping, or actually go back to data. So outline, we'll ungroup it. So we'll select rows 5 through 16, and we'll just put those together for this first piece. So we can get ready for the other expenses in a moment.